Amber Heard is from Texas. Did that help her learning Spanish? Let's find out. Hola, ¿qué tal? My name is Carlos and I'm your Spanish as a foreign language teacher. Amber Heard is an actress from the US and she is famous for portraying a character in the action movie Aquaman. She's also known for certain legal issues happening recently. But today we're going to be analyzing her Spanish. She said that she was born and raised in Texas and that helped her whilst she was learning Spanish. So, vamos.
Yo quiero que nos digas cómo aprendiste a hablar español.
Bueno, soy de Texas. Crecí cerca de muchos latinos.
Es increíble, de verdad, no tenemos ningún traductor, tienes un español impecable, Amber.
No.
Las imágenes y los efectos especiales de esta película son realmente increíbles y la crítica ha alabado mucho tu trabajo. Dicen que eres amazing, maravillosa.
Estuve muy contenta de tomar ese papel porque pienso que se representará algo diferente.
All right, she seems to be in command and she's very natural when she's speaking the language, so that's really amazing. Now let's go into the details, the bits and pieces that she needs to improve. Maybe you noticed them, maybe you didn't, but let's do it together. Vamos.
Dicen que eres amazing, maravillosa.
Estuve muy contenta de tomar ese papel porque pienso que se representará algo diferente.
Estoy muy contenta tomar ese papel. So here we are missing the preposition de. Estoy muy contenta de tomar ese papel. So we need that preposition de in order to respect the structure to be plus a feeling plus de plus an infinitive verb. For example, estoy feliz de verte de nuevo. I am happy to see you again. No estamos desesperados de saber la verdad. We are not desperate to know the truth. Está enojada de no tener suficiente tiempo. She's angry for not having enough time. So as you can see, the structure in English sometimes changes. It could be to or it could be for. The preposition in Spanish is always de. Of course, when you are using the structure that we have just analyzed. Good, let's move on.
Sí.
¿Cómo te fue trabajando con Nicole Kidman?
Es un sueño. Ella es su belleza está, y no estoy hablando de la tema de el físico.
No estoy hablando de la tema del físico. Tema is a masculine singular noun, so it should be accorded with the article el tema. Now remember, when you have the definite article el, but before you are using the preposition de, we need a contraction. So de el tema would become del tema. Now it's completely understandable that she confused tema for feminine because tema ends in a, and we know as a rule of thumb in Spanish all the words that end in a would be feminine. However, because it's Spanish, we love exceptions. Now, if you would like to see the most commonly misgendered nouns in Spanish, I have included a list that you can get from a link in the description. So go get it. It's always very handy to have these lists that show us the words that we need to be very careful and to be mastering when we are dealing with the gender of nouns. So let's move on.
Su belleza está, y no estoy hablando de la tema de el físico. Su belleza desde adentro es algo impresionante.
Su belleza desde adentro es algo impresionante. So here the mistake is the adentro. She needed to use the word adentro, which is the noun for inside. However, in Spanish, when we want to express the concept of inner beauty, we use belleza interior. So the correct expression would have been su belleza interior es algo impresionante. Good, moving on.
Su belleza desde adentro es algo impresionante. Es una persona que nunca puedes olvidar.
Es una persona que nunca puedes olvidar. excellent use of the present simple for a general truth. He's a person that you cannot forget, that he is quite remarkable. So when we talk about general truths about a person or an object, we always use present simple. For example, el fuego quema. Fire burns. Londres es caro. London is expensive. Let's move on.
¿Cómo fue trabajar con Aquaman?
Es como trabajar con un niño, pero un niño que está enorme, ¿eh? No, pero es súper divertido y mi trabajo fue muy fácil porque somos amigos y es súper buena gente, me cae muy bien.
This is really important to highlight because it was an excellent use of the pronominal verb phrase caerse. This pronominal verb phrase means to get along or to like each other. We know this phenomenon in Spanish, like when you have an infinitive verb like caer, meaning to fall, but then we have the pronominal verb phrases, meaning that they still use the verb caer, but when you add that reflexive verb caerse, could give us a different meaning, which is the case of this expression. It's better to put it in context. For example, me cae bien tu hermana, es muy agradable. I get along with your sister, she's very nice. Or you can use it in negative. Johnny y Amber no se caen bien. Johnny and Amber don't get along. So as you can see, this is a very useful pronominal verb phrase, so adopt it and use it. Let's move on.
Invita a todo tu público de Primer Impacto a que no se pierdan la película.
No puedes perderlo, tienes que verlo, Aquaman.
No puedes perderlo, tienes que verlo. This is a very common mistake in Spanish, and actually I would say this is one of the most difficult things to learn in Spanish. And it is the use of the direct object and indirect object. So as you might know, indirect and direct object pronouns are used to replace an object or an idea that we are talking about in order not to say the whole thing again. In Spanish, they have to be accorded to gender and number, and it doesn't help that actually they look quite alike. I mean, indirect and direct pronouns. So if we use the information that Amber is trying to express, no puedes perderlo, let's remember that she's trying to express you cannot miss it. So that it would be the direct object pronoun, in this case that lo. However, it doesn't work because she is talking about the movie, the film, which in Spanish is la película and is a feminine noun, so it needs to have la. No puedes perderla. However, if you say in Spanish, no puedes perderla, that would mean you cannot lose it. So we need to add the extra indirect object pronoun, no puedes perderte la, and now it means you cannot miss it. So the correct expression to say you cannot miss it, in this case would be no puedes perderte la. Te being the indirect object pronoun, y la being the direct object pronoun. Okay, moving on.
No puedes perderlo, tienes que verlo. Aquaman es lo más divertido y vas a disfrutar.
Es lo más divertido. It is the funniest thing. This is an excellent use of a definite neuter article, which is lo. Very common to use in Spanish, so it's always a good idea to revise it. To give you another example would be lo mejor de México es la comida. The best about Mexico is food. We also have a very common expression that I really like and you should adopt. When you say lo barato sale caro, it means what seems cheap ends up to be quite expensive. So there it is, Amber. I think she has a very good level of Spanish, and I love the fact that she is able to joke in Spanish. I think that's very important when you are learning a language. Once you acquire that level that you're able to have fun and joke, I mean, it just comes natural. Don't forget to get the document I told you about with the most commonly misgendered nouns in Spanish. And also, if you have any suggestions or comments about the videos, they're more than welcome. I'm always very happy to read what you have to say. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I will see you in our live session or maybe in the next analysis. See you next time. Happy learning. Bye bye. Adios.